Albemarle County Public Schools is proud of our facilities, and this video will highlight some of our recent capital projects. We'll focus on illustrating the impact of new and renovated spaces and also show some traditional spaces to compare them to. We'll start at Albemarle High School. Here you'll see a locker removal project that gives you more space in the hallway and also gives an interesting space for students to gather. We're looking here at a traditional classroom at Albemarle High School. You'll see traditional furniture, you'll see some more traditional spaces. And here we're looking at a renovated space at Albemarle High School. You'll see flexible furniture, some additional daylighting, and you'll see a lot of different ways a teacher can configure the room. Here's a traditional space that was a science classroom. We have storage issues in the space. We can bring in some additional daylighting to give them some more light in the classroom and some spaces that aren't used as they originally were intended. Here we're looking at a renovated science room at Albemarle High School. You'll see a lot of different abilities for teachers to configure the room in different spaces and for students to have more choice in their seating. You see lots of light and lots of space. You'll see easy access to utilities such as gas and outlets. We're at Jewett Middle School now to look at a few examples of renovated versus traditional spaces. We'll start in a traditional classroom. You'll see a traditional layout for desks, which is partially COVID inspired. And in the new space, this is the tech lab that combined different classrooms into one common space. Students are able to spread out in different configurations. We have flexible furniture that can be moved into different places. Here we're at Jewett's modernized tech lab. You'll see lots of flexible configurations for the students to work with. You'll see a lot of light. There's a space where students can work in the shop area versus more of a clean space. And we have lots of technology in the space, such as 3D printers and laser cutters that students can experiment and learn with. Now we'll focus on some of our larger modernization projects and give you some additional details. At Red Hill, we designed to modernize a newly furnished 13 classrooms and the media center. Work in the classrooms included updated finishes, casework, and lighting as needed from room to room. Improved transparency and connection to adjacent spaces and the outdoors was very important in this project. The furniture was updated to create a flexible and comfortable learning environment, including ergonomic seating choice, work surfaces that vary in height and size, but are all mobile and provide adequate storage. At Woodbrook Elementary, we added about 40,000 square feet. With that 40,000 square feet, we added 300 seats, bringing the school's capacity to 600 students. The additions included 16 classrooms, 2 dedicated special ed classrooms, 4 smaller resource classrooms, a makerspace, professional development training space, a conference room, 2 faculty workrooms, and toilets, offices, storage, and various support spaces. Smaller additions expanded the cafeteria and a new gym were constructed. This learning space modernization budget touched on many different school spaces. It added needed improvements to instructional spaces that included existing classrooms, libraries, and other elective and support areas that are consistent with the school board's goals and priorities. Modifications included furniture and renewal work, including updated finishes, casework, lighting, and connections to adjacent spaces. Typical modifications included classroom furniture upgrades, classroom modernization, media center modernization, cafeteria modernization, specialty classroom modernization, and additional daylighting. Western Albemarle High School's Environmental Studies Academy consisted of 2 phases. The first phase included the Environmental Studies Academy standalone building, which includes the greenhouse, and phase 2 was an academy addition and science lab modernization. The addition is about 10,000 square feet and focused on expanded science facilities to accommodate the Environmental Science Academy programs. This included 3 labs, offices, a shared prep room with storage, and project spaces for independent and collaborative teaming. Spaces also accommodated hydro and aquatic activities and hydroponics. 7 of the existing classrooms in the building were also modernized, which included replacing casework, updating finishes and lighting, improving daylighting, and adding additional power and replacing furniture. The most recent work at Red Hill Elementary was Phase 2 of the project. It included an addition, renovations, and site improvements. The project added about 6,500 square feet to the building with a new gymnasium and support spaces such as physical education offices and storage. Renovations to the existing building included repurposing the previous gym into the new media center. The new media center is a creative learning space with new shelving finishes and collaboration spaces. Renovations to the cafeteria, toilets, hallways, and support spaces and kitchen and serving line were also part of this project. Exterior renovations included painting and soffit repair. Site work included additional parking, site improvements, and outdoor learning areas. Scottsville Elementary's addition and improvements added approximately 17,500 square feet to the building and added improvements to the existing building and site. The additions included 4 additional classrooms, 2 smaller resource rooms, 2 offices, bathrooms, and a full-size gym. Improvements to the existing building included repurposing the current gym into instructional space, as well as other modernizations and renovations throughout the building to improve space for both staff and students. Site improvements included outdoor learning areas and septic system enhancements. At the completion of the project, all trailers and modular classrooms will also be removed. The project adhered to LEED principles and practices. As we've seen with the examples at Woodbrook, Western Albemarle, Red Hill, and Scottsville, significant renovations have occurred concurrently with building expansions and additions. However, this naturally leads to somewhat unequal school facilities, and we recommend that dedicated renovation funding is needed at all levels. The last time a significant renovation and modernization budget was approved was in fiscal year 18. Since 2017, the Long Range Planning Advisory Committee's highest priority recommendations have included school renovations at all levels. In a community survey administered during the summer of 2021, respondents recommended that the following are important criteria to use in project prioritization: upgrading athletic facilities and outdoor play spaces to foster good physical health, making sites accessible for local and community-based events, adding natural light in classrooms and making it easier to access outdoor spaces, renovating spaces to foster good mental health habits, well-being, and collaboration, and improving access for students with disabilities. The requested renovation projects represent substantive investments in our school buildings, including the implementation of recommendations of the High School Master Plan study. A phased multi-year approach will bring the school division's aging schools to modern standards to include improvements such as electrical infrastructure updates to accommodate technology, ensuring classrooms have natural light, improvements to adhere to the Americans with Disabilities Act, outdoor learning space updates, and reconfiguration of spaces to improve function and efficiency.